And we are now live.
Thank you. This is a Senate Appropriations Committee, and before we take up more of the FY 2023 budget, we're going to, we just had the H717 referred to us. This is an act providing humanitarian assistance to the people of Ukraine. And I will read it. We all have copies here. It is to appropriate the sum of $644,826 to the Agency of Administration in this fiscal year to provide one or more grants for use for humanitarian assistance to the people of Ukraine. The sum is derived from $643,077, which is $1 for each Vermont resident per the 2020 census, and $1,749, which equals the total amount of funds collected by liquor and lottery from sales of Russian sourced products for the period February 24th to February 24th, 2022 to March 2nd, 2022. At which point those products that we have been told were removed from the shelves. The effective date would be upon passage. It's simple, straightforward. It's an expression on the part of the state of Vermont and our citizens to assist and recognize the humanitarian plight of Ukrainians. And I would I'll open it up to any questions or a motion to approve the bill favorably, to move the bill favorably.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
my question is, do you have a sense from the administration what their, it doesn't specify how the people of Ukraine receive the money? Do you have a sense of?
The way it's written, one or more grants, was very deliberate. The administration is trying to determine which aid agencies are the most appropriate to move the money to. There was some discussion, should we have the e-board approve it? And in the end, we felt that that the administration could vet the one or more organizations, and then they could inform us which ones were selected to be the vehicle by which this aid flowed to the people of Ukraine. So
Okay.
We had hoped to have something more specific, but the most important thing was to move the bill, appropriate the money, and set up a mechanism. What this does is allow the Agency of Administration and the governor's office to make that determination. They're working with congressional delegation to get recommendations as to which organization or organizations to be the beneficiary of this.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Other questions, Senator Starr?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we vote out H717 as presented to us.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion to move the bill favorably by Senator Starr, seconded by Senator Westman, and our clerk will please call the roll.
Senator Ballant, Senator Baruth, yes. Senator Nitka,
Yes.
Senator Sears,
Yes.
Senator Starr,
Yes,
Senator Westman,
Yes.
and Senator Kitchell.
Yes, and I will hold the vote open, get the vote from Senator Bell.
Okay, sounds good.
And then we will be able to, what we will do is bring this bill up for consideration, suspend the rules, and take it off the notice calendar, and we'll vote on it tomorrow. That is our plan.
And the reporter?
I'll be the reporter.
Oh, thank you. Okay, and we have the Lieutenant Governor's office with us.
All right. Thank you.
I got my Airbnb room in Kiev. Two of them,
He's a
2
little,
nights.
he's a what?
I got my Airbnb room in Kiev.
Oh, really? You did? Supporting. Just to support, just to help the people.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Wasn't that
interesting.
nice? How much is it? Or how much?
Well, you go on and you find an Airbnb room someplace in the Ukraine. They said, make sure you do it, that you make sure it's a private individual. as of day before yesterday, 61,000 people have bought Airbnb rooms in the Ukraine to support.
Oh,
That's
And Airbnb in Poland has donated rooms for 100,000 people.
Holy smoke.
and that's so pitiful. When you think about, what is it, almost 2 million people now?
Well, it's pitiful, but it, you know, it's.
No, I meant pitiful in terms of the eggs.
I know.
I mean, it's just the scope of the,
Those people seem to be pretty sharp people.
they are.
They are.
All right, so we're, now that we've taken action on that bill, we're going to go to the office of the Lieutenant Governor. And I see we have the Lieutenant Governor as well as other staff here. We should probably move through pretty quickly. We can turn it over to the Lieutenant Governor. This is sort of an opportunity with what you have for summary and highlights, and obviously your budget is not one of the more complicated ones that we consider, but if you would like to start in the presentation, we do have these documents that your office has submitted. So, Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members of the committee. It's wonderful to join you virtually, although I know you are in the building. So happy to also come up if necessary and connect in person. I think I'll just begin by recognizing Holly Anderson. I know Holly regularly comes before your committee, but Holly is largely responsible for the budget of the office. Andrew Gillespie is my chief of staff. As you know, it is the two of us, a small but mighty team working every day to meet the needs of Vermonters, to make sure that we're deeply responsive to constituent services, doing everything I can to support your work in serving as the Senate president and presiding over the Senate, and then making sure each day that we're giving Vermonters access to the building, even if it's virtually, access to the office, access to government, both in, again, meeting constituent service needs, but really trying to be deeply responsive and connected to our communities, our nonprofits, our businesses, our schools, and different constituent groups across the state. As you said, the budget is not that complicated. I will remind the committee that it's one that is set by the governor. We do have, every year we have the opportunity to put forward a wish list. And we've been through that process now twice. I think this budget reflects a pretty lean and mean office that really reflects salaries, the rent for the space. There's obviously healthcare for myself and for the chief of staff. We both do not have dependents, so they're single plans for each of us. There's retirement reflected in the budget. I think you'll see that the retirement is a little bit higher than the healthcare, but that's just because it's just the two of us and we don't have dependents included. And beyond that, some light items just reflective of the very basic operations.
I think I've ever seen a $2 change, maybe the dollar for the mortar horse farm, right up here.
Yeah, yeah.
So your total increase is 9,700, and really is driven by benefit and retirement to a large extent. So it is pretty straightforward. In terms of your financial request. We do have your highlights here in terms of what your office has been doing in the last year. And well, this is 23 summary and highlights. Some of it is 22, I'm sure, highlighted because it's things that are happening right now. Any other comments that you would like to make other than the office funding? You'd like, obviously, to have it move forward as it's been recommended by the governor. And I don't think there's really much discussion, but I'll open it up. Committee, any questions?
No, there's not
Not a whole lot there.
Not a whole lot to ask about.
If I'm reading it correctly, I just want to know the supplies. It's gone from $500, which isn't much, to $26.80, and it just, I mean, everything else is pretty lean, as the Lieutenant Governor said, but why are supplies up 252%?
Yeah, I'll let Holly explain further, but my general understanding is that there is a recommended 3% increase. And for right now, that recommends a placeholder. I will certainly say that I've got a pen here. We have some more, we have some paper, but this office, I'm regularly trying to figure out how we pull money together just to print thank you notes and letterhead. So for an office that's supposed to be responsive to constituents, we're running on not much. So even if it's a placeholder for now, I hope that it would be approved, because I hope that whoever is in this office next has the ability to print letterhead and thank you notes and just the basic supplies to be responsive to constituents.
The answer is $500 wasn't enough.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I can add to that, Molly.
Sure.
I can add to that, Molly. So the offset of the healthcare. So as Molly mentioned, the healthcare costs for her and the chief of staff are cheaper than they were in FY22 because of no dependents. So we were actually looking for a placeholder because we were allowed to increase the budget by a certain allowance. So really, we just had to find a placeholder to put the increase in.
That's fine. I just stood out. That's all. Sorry.
Yep.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do understand what the constituent demands are. We seem to be the beneficiary of a lot of that communication ourselves. So unless there are further comments about the budget or questions or anything else you'd like to use this opportunity to brief us on, Lieutenant Governor, we will let you get back to your other work.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee, and appreciate the time. Nothing further to share to say at this moment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we have really a break until 3 o'clock,
Correct. And then
which I think all of us probably could use.